Your nut was about to burst because you were so engrossed. While you were getting your vagina sucked and the baby was on the fucking bed, you didn't hear that man enter the room. You showed no concern. A woman who is beaten doesn't sound like that. That doesn't sound like the mistreatment of a lady. Hello to you. An abused woman should be far more cautious than that. She doesn't even exercise caution. Then, in an attempt to undermine the man's credibility because you know he is an undercover gay who enjoys having his booty played with, you accuse him of finto rap. You can tell he's a hip-hop artist when you're trying to dehumanize your own husband, Lil Nas, to the point where he's ashamed and not seen as a real stand-up man because you're violating his manhood by playing with his hindsight. That didn't work. He has nothing that didn't work. So you call him broke? As though you're exerting every effort to undermine this man. Additionally, his credibility runs counter to everything you are saying about him, so none of it is effective at all. This is what keeps him afloat and acts as a barrier between him and you. How do I make child support payments? What if I am unable to work because my ex-wife is ruining my reputation? How am I going to work? How do I get compensated? How can I look after my children? How your sister, your ex-wife, applies common sense. The sister of your ex-wife mistreated her. Robert 13 years of that kind of marriage. You feel that people aren't backing you and that you're not getting the support you expected because you're a hip-hop lady, so you're doing all in your power to discredit this man. You notice things about the world that you were unaware of in your own spouse. We recognize the difference between what you know and what you ignore about him, yet we still respect him. You realize that none of your tactics are effective, and you're furious about it. You're becoming petty about the entire situation. You're a weirdo. Actually, you don't see you're a girl. I see. You're a female. Take a look at him. I'm sensitive. Sir. Stop teasing me. Take a look at your petty nature. Just being more petty, hurling tantrums, snapping, and all that. The man was upset with you. The man was silent, didn't try to talk, and didn't use the internet at all. However, you continued to strike him from every angle, discussing his kids and disparaging him as a parent. But none of this existed prior to your capture. The man is not even the target of your argument. You don't, as well as for him to have reportedly abandoned you, as though she had said something. Like, we all know what it is when a woman goes to jail, don't we, ladies? You want to claim that we are all aware of what it is now, but guess what? Yes, you were having sex with other prisoners while you were incarcerated, including the one he had caught you within his home. She has frequently attacked those who lead that lifestyle and made disparaging remarks about them and make a lot of derogatory remarks about them. I knew the truth, and it pained her so much that so one day, while my daughter was in bed with them, I saw her in our home with this person. I managed to catch it. That's correct, the way he puts it. That's absurd. The thing about God that you don't get is this. According to the Bible, God detests divorce. However, He is aware that it happens as a result of our wicked nature. The thing is this. When you begin doing that, you betray the trust and break the bond by committing your soul to someone else. Additionally, you stole something precious and handed it to someone else, which sows distrust. Modesty and embarrassment in the family. Unfortunately, God views these things. Who unhappily feels that you have damaged your relationship and the purity you all once shared. You see, anything that isn't sexually immoral can be used. For instance, I could put up with your attitude, your snoring, your greed, and the fact that you don't always see things my way. However, things change when you start having sex with other people. Not only does that strike at your soul, it strikes at mine as well. You put me in danger, and you're putting yourself and other kids at risk for addictions. Jealousies, including those that have led to fatalities in certain instances. Don't get me wrong, there are other reasons for divorce besides that. Divorce is also possible if the other person physically abuses you. Divorce is warranted if the other person is attempting to prevent you from believing in Jesus Christ. Divorce is warranted if a person uses drugs and engages in activities that could endanger you or your family. But generally speaking, you shouldn't have to engage in sexual immorality, adultery, or fornication when married. You shouldn't be necessary to be loved. You don't need to leave your marriage. Develop your communication skills. Develop your ability to reason with one another. Have a talk with your wife if you're not happy with her sexually. Show each other how to love each other. Talk to him, educate him, and teach him if you have a man who is unable to fully satisfy you. There are several options available to fill in the gaps and provide assistance. However, you're not leaving your marriage as long as you're doing it together. She wanted her, which is something about her. She expressed her desire for a papoose. She continued to desire him. All she wished to do was play both sides. That was her desire. If you have been following this, she never really wanted it. As you may have noticed, Eazy The Block Captain just lost her temper because she didn't want him. She preferred Papoose instead, only because she was trying to take advantage of him for the money. Did Papoose refuse to comply? She continued to do so, which is why she received an I rating. Play her as though she had been blackmailed. I think that's what it sounds like. What do you guys think? She would have been gone. I'd have been over him. Thus, I still had to sort of to ensure that he doesn't fall all the way and that I don't get pulled in opposite directions by both teams. Be upfront with this. You failed to provide a. You were unconcerned. Speaking with this, that isn't accurate, because she still desired to be with Papoose, who had just terminated the procedure. She was playing the scenario. She stated things like, "You don't care," since she was furious about this. "You're not. That's not true. Not true," Pap he remarked. "You didn't give a F," she said. "He didn't play the rest of it, so you didn't care F." That piece to illustrate how he was providing her with the chance and opportunity to handle it and finish things. He liked it because of this. He was about to explain when he said, "That's not true. I can assure you, it's untrue," that he was concerned. "You assured me that you would take care of it, so that's why I was giving you enough time to deal with it. You weren't doing it, though. You were putting things off. You were engaged in a game. Guess what, then? I will no longer be staying while you're doing all of this. I won't be taking this thing on the side. No." Thus, shouldn't want Eazy to block you, despite the fact that she was saying something different to Eazy, a simpleton. When they live together, you can tell that's not the case. Hurry up. What are we discussing? In addition to answering this phone, I must email you all this blog. That being said, the truth is your boys battle. I don't believe that.